Hello and what is up guys, Rai here and welcome back to some more automation and again BeamNG.Drive. We are building ourselves a very curvy car. This body is a mod body of course from the Steam Workshop. This is based on, I think it's the Bugatti Type 37. I'll post a picture on the screen, I think I'm right. But anyways, we're making ourselves a very luxurious, very Canadian or American car today. And by that I mean an absolute ton of power. A ton of speed, at least for 1946, even though this is like a late 30s body. And basically just tons of luxury as well. We're making a very, very, very luxurious, very, very, very prestigious, and very fast vehicle from this era. The farthest we can go back, of course, in tech is 1946, but that's more than enough to get our point across today. If you guys have been watching my channel, in the past I have made another classic car from a new brand at the time called Harriet, which is my very luxurious kind of, I think it's a Canadian or an American brand at this point. It's a North American car brand. And the theme for them is massive engines for its time. Tons of power. It doesn't have to be controllable, just tons of power. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to hop into, we can go for steel or aluminium or aluminum body panels for now. I think we'll go for aluminum because the actual Bugatti this is based off of weighs just over 2,000 pounds. I think it's like 2,100 pounds. Which is extraordinarily light for a car that's actually quite big. But it did have a reasonably small engine. It only had a 3.3 liter straight 8 with or without a supercharger as far as I'm aware. So we're going to go for something a bit bigger. We don't have straight 8s, but we got something better. We're going to go for a space frame chassis, kind of fancy, kind of posh. We can go rear engine. Oh god, we're not gonna go for rear engine. I didn't even know there was a thing in this body actually. McPherson strut or double wishbone front and rear, pretty fancy suspension setup. Now Harriet, you know, they go all out on technology. It's just a miracle that they're still around today somehow, because they just spend money on outlandish things like advanced technology, body panels, engines, etc. So we can either go for another inline 6, that's the Harriet way, or I was thinking actually, because we can fit a massive 7 liter or so inline 6, which is pretty impressive for 1946. But what fun would that be if we can just fit a massive V16 in here? Because why not, basically? We're gonna go for we can go for single overhead cam 4-valve or 2-valve, or dual overhead cam 2-valve as well. Like we can go, because 4-valve was a thing in the 40s and 30s. It was uncommon and very expensive, but this is a very expensive, over-the-top vehicle. We'll go for 2-valve for now. I might go to 4-valve, and if I do, that's okay. Heavy-duty cast, because this thing needs to handle torque. Lower this down to, like, that. It's fine. That's fine. Fuel systems, single-barrel carb. Oh, gosh. Oh, God, look at this. Oh, God, just a wall of carburetors. I love that. That's just such a long, like, air intake. My gosh, that's so long. Okay, super lighted fuel it is. We're going to go for long tube headers, dual exhaust, baffled. So, I think Harriet, although they are pretty crazy, I think for this car, they're going to be a little bit quiet, a little bit subdued. We're going to go to 4,000 RPM max, because it sounds like a reasonable amount. And right off the hop here, 295 horse, 430 pound-feet of torque, 26% stress. That's probably fine. You know, it's probably fine. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Max ignition time, we can increase the fuel until it's useless. That is lowering it. So 13.3 is the best we can do. And then you can increase the compression all the way up until 7.7 to 1. Quite a high compression ratio. 460 pound-feet of torque, which is a pretty ridiculous amount of torque. We can get 305 horsepower, which I kind of prefer that. A little less, okay, a little more horsepower, a little less torque. That's okay. Probably. We can go to the engine now with the body, actually, at least. Is there more bodies? I'm not sure why these are all... I don't know what this is, but I'll ignore that. So, a couple of things with this body. It's got enclosed wheel well covers, I guess is what this is. It's got the skirts, the fender skirts. That's what it is, yeah. And I actually love how that looks on even modern cars. I think fender skirts are really cool, underappreciated. It's kind of glitching out here, and it's going to stay glitched out probably in BeamNG. If we go ahead, okay, the wheels are going to move. If we hide the chassis, I'm going to hide the chassis probably in BeamNG, if we can. If not, I might just switch to ladder, because ladder looks a bit better, I think. But that's okay for now. Of course, it's going to be rear-wheel drive, because what else would it be? Actually, this is a tough choice. Do we want to go 4x4? I mean, okay, it doesn't really make a ton of sense. It's a little bit outlandish. Then again, this is Harriet. Harriet does things a bit differently. they like to, you know, go a little bit crazy on their ideas and stuff. We could go for a 4x4, maybe a 3-speed. Very high top speed, 300 kilometers an hour. Open diff, because why not? Sports compound. Perfect. Looks great. And then the back has got to be spaced as well. There's a lot of room in there for some big, thick tires, to be honest. No under tray for us today, and it's going to be a 2-seater. It's a 2-seater, handmade luxury, probably. Yeah, not handmade, but quite luxurious. The best safety money could buy, and that's the only option we have. It's a lot heavier than the actual Bugatti. The engine weighs 1,100 pounds. This engine weighs more than, I mean, not really some cars, but I mean some sports cars, I guess, like an Ariel Atom. But you know, it's still very, very, very heavy engine. 3,500 pounds overall is not too bad. 7 seconds to 60, but it's gonna say more in rear-wheel drive. So in automation, 4x4 doesn't really show up properly for 0 to 60. It doesn't really take into account 4x4. It only takes into account rear-wheel drive, but with 4x4 weight. Actually, it's a lot lighter. That's a lot lighter. That is a lot lighter. Only 41k. So I'm gonna play with some quality sliders probably, because this thing can honestly be like 100k, 200k. It's a very luxurious car. It's supposed to be very, very expensive. I mean, at least by 1940 standards. I mean, for Harriet, it's gonna be pretty reasonably priced. But what we're gonna do is probably design the car. I'm gonna tune the car, tweak the car in the time lapse. The whole thing's been done in a time lapse, and then after that, we are going to hop into BeamNG. And I want to see how this thing compares to my other cars, so maybe we'll take my other Harriet model and take them for a comparison test, because they're both 1946 tech, but this thing is going to be a lot more insane. So yeah, sit back, relax, guys, and I hope you enjoy. And now we're starting the design for the Harriet pretty much giant coupe thing that we're doing. Starting off with an 8-shaped grille similar to my previous Harriet vehicles. All of them have this traditional sort of 8 shape. For the most part, some sort of an 8 shape in the front grille, or somewhere in the car at least. I do changes on later in the build, because it doesn't look that right to me. There's a lot of empty space there, but this is sort of the first layout at first. So we have an 8-shaped grille with a tri-bumper setup with quad headlights, basically. Going for this sort of dark, almost like a burgundy deep red with a white two-tone on top there. And I'm playing around with a few things here or there with the front grille. I'm making some changes, changing the headlights to something I like just a bit more with still a quad headlight setup. Adding a few pieces of trim here and there on the hood, and going to be on the fenders shortly. Overall, it's a pretty simple build. This body does a lot of the work. All the old bodies do a lot of the work, adding these sort of lines across the main grille, which I do end up removing just about everything after, of course, I put these long vents in the hood now, and then a few things here or there, adding door handles, adding a mirror, trying to add mirrors at least for a second there. Working on things like the wheels now, having, of course, some white wall tires. Then playing around with the front grille just a bit more, staring at it basically and trying to see what I can do with it to make it look a bit better. But I end up getting rid of the entire thing and going with a bit more traditional front end. I know it's different from Harriet, but maybe this is like a rebadged Bugatti of the time. No one really knows at this point. It is going to be quite a bit heavier than a Bugatti though. So we add a sort of wraparound front grille with some bars going around it here and there, similar to the old grille with the bars going across, but just less, and a bigger grille overall, but much more open space, quite luxurious, very, very prestigious as well. Adding a gas cap to the side, and the taillights of the rear end in general, it is quite basic, just going to have a simple quad taillight setup with some simple bumper bars at the bottom and simple exhausts that are trying to come out the side, but they're going to end up being out the rear at the end of the day. Adding a big old tire on the back, but I take that off because it looks kind of tacky. Adding just a general GC badge because this car is called the Grand Coupe. So in front of us is the 1940s Harriet Grand Coupe. And like I said, guys, in front of us is the 1940s-ish, the Harriet Grand Coupe. I know, the name is very original, but my first Harriet was called the Grand Touring, so Grand Coupe just seems more reasonable because this thing is just a giant coupe. I mean, the other one is more of a sports car. This is more of just more of a touring car anyways, but it's a coupe, I know. So, 8-liter V16 3-speed manual, and I switched to 4-wheel drive, which for 1946 even would be the weirdest thing ever. We're going to see in BeamNG, this thing is an absolute rocket ship for 1946, or for 1940 or whatever this car would have came out. The front, I originally had this sort of H-shaped, similar to my other Harry cars of the past, especially my 1940s. But this one, I think we're going a little more upscale, a little less, you know, tacky with the H-shaped grille. At least for this one. Maybe this is like a rebadged car. Maybe they actually licensed its design from Bugatti, then rebadged it, because it's very similar to a Bugatti. There's not really much else you can do. I made a really long gills in the hood, and I think that looks pretty cool. We've got a bottom door handle there that kind of opens up some way. Gas cap, back end's just nothing in the back end at all, actually, in this case. We just got a GC badge for Grand Coupe, taillights, and twin exhaust. This car is not so much about design as it is just absolute insanity. We're going to see here. So, in automation, top speed, 320 kilometers an hour. It's got a few +5 quality sliders. I wanted to get the cost up to about, what, 80,000? 145,000. It's a very expensive car. 0-16, 7.3 seconds. Spoiler alert though, guys, it is much faster in BeamNG.Drive. Sports tires, we can actually go 225s. Interesting, I like that. We'll do that. 225s, we'll go 205s. I actually will have to re-export this now. The brakes, yeah, they don't stop. Yeah, I want this car to stay kind of comfy. 24 is not even that high, and yet it's awful. We got full +15 aero quality for that top speed, slick speed. The seats are in the middle because I don't know what happened there, to be honest. It's kind of weird, and the safety is the best, and the suspension is just, I think, sport tuned. It's sport tuned now. It's kind of neutral. It's a little bit oversteery till understeery, but just remember, guys, this thing is four-wheel drive, so it's going to be probably pretty much fine in BeamNG. So 325 or so horsepower is the new peak power, and 475 pound-feet of torque. I actually did do a test model with this thing with I think it was still an 8-liter V16, but it had 550 pound-feet of torque. That was a bit scary. That was a little bit wheel spinny. This thing is a bit better now. We're gonna hop at 6.9. Ah, nice. Now we're gonna hop in 3,435 pounds. Not bad. We're gonna hop into BeamNG. I want to race the Harrier GT. I want to see what wins a drag race. I want to see which one is better in every way. So I'll see you guys in BeamNG.Drive in just a sec. So finally, we're in BeamNG.Drive with the Harriet GT. Not the Grand Coupe, but the GT. This is my 1920s-ish Harriet. I made it probably two months back or so, based on an older Bugatti model. This is based off the Type 20. I don't know. It's an older Bugatti. I'll try to post a picture on the screen here. But it's based off an older one. It looks pretty interesting. I still like how it looks. It's very classic car. We got the side exhaust, which is kind of cool. This thing is powered by a 6-liter inline 6 engine, very, very chonky. It weighs 2,500 pounds, so it's lighter. It's rear-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive, like the Harriet Grand Coupe. We're going to test the cars in the quarter mile and 0-60 and see which one's better. We're going to ring a note. Hit the ring a note in a second to get a good 0-60. 3.965 seconds to 60. Oh my gosh, or to 100. Not even to 60, to 100. So it's a little more to 100, or to 60. Or to 62, actually. It's actually faster. And a 12.6 in the quarter mile. 0-60 in 4 seconds. And a quarter mile in 12.6, which is a very fast quarter mile for a car with even 365 horsepower. It's a pretty good quarter mile. This car weighs nothing, though. We'll see if the Harrier Grand Coupe can compete against that, because that is an insane 0-60 and an insane quarter mile. I don't think I can match that 0-60 at all, actually. We'll launch in low range second again. That's still well, the exact same time, 4.6. Interesting. But whatever, I'll take that. I'll take it. A little better. 12.8 versus 12.5, I think. So still, an absolutely incredible 0-60. This thing's got four-wheel drive. Just remember that, guys. In 1946, four-wheel drive on a luxury car would have been pretty wild. This thing is definitely a marvel of technology. We're just going to go to free roam for a second. Look at this thing. Beautiful. And it looks so good in BeamNG. I love how it looks. So we're going to hop into the jump arena and take a look. The car jump arena is now in front of us. We're going to go ahead and just jump the car. And I just want to see which one goes farther. I distinctly remember this car doing very poorly in the car jump arena due to its just low top speed, or relatively low top speed. Sort of very poor drag coefficient in this body, so we'll see. So you only about 210 kilometers an hour, which is quite slow We could definitely go way farther, way faster. And we're gonna go here. See, look at that. Like 170 meters only. We still stuck the landing actually quite good somehow. Somehow stuck the landing. I don't know how he did that. And it's in pretty good shape. The car is not bad. It's actually... How did it survive that so well? Yeah, he made it to the bottom in one piece. We're going to hop into the Grand Coupe, and I just want to see which one can really jump farther. Just for no reason at all, but I'm just curious. And now on to the Grand Coupe, not the Gran Turismo, the Grand Coupe. And actually, this thing looks... Oh god, the taillights work. Ha! Well, the front doesn't work. Nice. Okay, so we're going to hop into this thing. It's very quiet. We'll do just normal range. Not high, not low range. We don't need that because we just need high speeds, at least top speeds here. Oh god. Oh no. Oh gosh. That was much too fast. I regret this already. We're going to slow down here just a little bit. Go to second because why not? Look at that speed. It's pretty quick. About 300 kilometers an hour top speed. I don't think we'll hit that, but, you know, we'll see. 260. Oh yeah. Oh, way farther. Double, over double. Like 360, and it's not in one piece. Can confirm the car did not survive the landing. I just wanted to test that. That's just something I wanted to test. I think we'll take this car, at least now, just this car, into a track, and I just want to see how it drives, because that's also an important thing. That'll be the last test of the day for this thing, but my, oh my. So the first one did, let's go over here. The first one did about, what, 160 or so, and this one did about 360 or so, so not bad, not bad. Over double the distance, and this thing's in great shape though, and it still drives fine. This thing on the other hand, yeah, you're not walking out of that probably. I don't think the engine's kind of out. We'll hop in and see how this thing drives on a track. Last but certainly not least, we are in the automation map. This is the old racetrack circuit, and I think I've done this one quite a few times. It's just a fun track with some. It's kind of an old feel to it. We're gonna launch it in high range for this race probably. I like this track. It's nice and simple. It's pretty fast, but it's also got some cool zips and zags. Oh no. I usually don't actually show you guys crashing in my videos. I just have like one clean lap, but my gosh, this thing is not good. It's fast though. Brake at 90 or so. Oh boy, the brakes. Oh boy, the brakes. They are not good at all. Come on, we'll stick to it nice and close. We're cutting the corner already. This thing is... So it is four-wheel drive, so it's going to do a bit of understeer. Oh my god. I mean, it handles pretty fine. It's just... It's not a performer. We're going to go for low range probably, actually. Here, we'll launch it in second. Third. We'll stay in this. There we go. Low range it is. Come on. I have the 0-60 timer on the top left there, but it's not really helped my case because we're doesn't go that fast. Oh boy, we're almost losing it again. Oh boy. I did 2 laps this and I regret every single minute I chose. I might even just do 1 lap. This is awful. We'll stay in second. Braking a little early here. We're 150 kilometers an hour. We're still braking. We're handbrake, handbrake, handbrake. We're good. Okay. Oh, that was scary. This is a terrifying beast. We're almost losing it. We're fine. So far, we're doing kind of decent. Oh. Oh. This car is pure torture. Pure torture. Does it still drive? It does. We're gonna go first person for a second. Can I finish a lap like this? I think I can. It's very bad. We're going pretty quick though, actually, about 40 miles an hour, which is like, or 70, 80 kilometers an hour, which is pretty good, or 60, 70 kilometers an hour. Oh boy, we're fine. This is fine. So it is. So a pro of this setup is actually it's 4-wheel drive, so it can like, you know, handle a lot and keep driving somehow. Come on, you can do it. This is very sketchy. Is the wheel off the ground right now? The wheel is off the ground at that point. This wheel doesn't even work actually. Just a guide. Full speed through the last stop. Oh god. Oh god, we're fine. 319. That's not bad. Let's see if it still drives though. Nope, the engine's gone. Well, that's the end of the... Wow, this thing looks super good in BeamNG. That's what Cranked Wheel was. This thing looks really nice in BeamNG. I'm actually super happy. I'll have a link down in the description for this car if you guys want to download it and put it in your BeamNG mods. Join the Discord linked in the description down below. It's pretty chill. It's pretty chill. If you guys like the video, leave a like. I am gonna do an idea that you guys had in the video from a while back for my next build, probably. But I've got a lot of awesome ideas coming this month. A lot of builds are coming this month, actually, so stay tuned. A lot of videos coming this month, so stay tuned, actually. I hope you guys are all staying safe in the holiday season and stuff, and keeping happy. So, thank you guys so much for watching, I guess. And as always, I'll see you next time.